Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to take a very quick look at the game Even Stevens Odd. This game is for 2 to 4 players, ages 8 and up, and the average play time is about 30 minutes. In this game, players will be rolling dice in a mad dash to match the values on those dice to the cards that are drawn in order to score points. Let's just take a quick moment to look at the components and see how it's played. As far as the components go, you've got some cards over here on the left, and each card has some sort of goal listed on it for players to try and accomplish. Basically, players are going to be trying to roll dice to match the goal listed on these cards. In this particular case, the card tasks players with making 3 pairs of even numbers, 2, 4, and 6, and it even gives the example down here along the bottom. Now, some cards even have stars marked in the upper right-hand corner. These indicate the quote-unquote easy mode cards that are suitable for younger kids. In this case, all players need to do is roll all ones in order to win this card. Now in the middle we have some dice. There's 6 dice per set, and as you can see there's 4 sets. Each set has 3 white dice and 3 colored dice of a particular color. To go along with those dice are 4 of these dice holders. Again, there's 1 of each color to match the different dice colors that are available in the different sets. Finally, you've got this oddball over here. His name is Steven, though I've dubbed him to be SpongeBob Dice Pants. And basically, players will be trying to grab him after completing a card to score their point and make it official. To set up the game, each player is going to get one of these die holders and a set of 6 dice. Again, the set of dice is going to match the color of the die holder. Steven is placed off to the side, as is the deck of cards. And you can seed the deck however you'd like. Again, those marked with a star indicate that these are easier cards. So if you're playing with younger kids, you can just keep these as your deck and be done with it. If you're playing an adults-only game, you can keep the more difficult cards and leave these out. Or you can just opt to play with all of them. The game itself is played out over several rounds, and at the beginning of the game, one player will start off by picking up this card and reading it aloud, and that roll will rotate around the table as rounds are completed. Now, whoever's turn it is to pick up the card, they'll go ahead, draw one, read it aloud, and then place it on the table for all to see. And basically, the card lists the goal that all players will be trying to complete in order to win this card. Each card is worth 1 point. In this case, it says colored are 5s and white are 2s. So in this case, red and blue are going to be trying to roll 3 5s of their color and 3 white dice that have the 2s on them. And as they roll these dice and get the numbers they want, they're going to place them into their die holder. And that'll reserve them or lock them in until they manage to roll the rest of that combination. So in this case, let's just as an example, start rolling dice here. Of course, I didn't get any numbers there. Now I have a 5, red 5, which matches what the card wants. I have a white 5, but the white 5 is not what the card wants. I do have another red 5, so I'll lock that in. And I have a white 2, so I'll lock that in. And now that I've locked those in, I'll go ahead and roll the rest. I've got a white 2. I've got a red 2, but that's not what the card wants, so I'll keep rolling. And eventually I'll land the dice that I need. Now, once a player has all 6 of the dice in their die holder, they'll go ahead and try and grab Steven. And the first person that manages to do that will win the card, put it into their score pile, and that round will end. And that's all there is to it. Players will be drawing these cards, trying to complete these cards by rolling dice, trying to grab Steven to earn that point, and so on and so forth. And that'll continue over the course of 10 rounds. And the person with the most cards in their score pile at the end of the game wins. Now, just to quickly provide you with a sample of all the different cards in the deck, I'm just going to choose a few here just to show you how varied the cards are. Again, these stars in the upper right-hand corner indicate that the card is easier to complete. For example, you've got this card here which wants players to form a straight. This other one here, all 1s, all 2s, all 3s, so on and so forth. 6 of a kind. Reader's choice, pick a number from 1 to 6. You've also got all dice are even numbers, all dice are even numbers, all dice are odd numbers, all colored dice are odd, all white dice are even. So as you can see, these easier cards are still pretty varied. Striped straight, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The colored dice are odd, the white dice are even. And let's jump ahead to the more difficult cards, because these are pretty interesting. In this particular one, total of colored dice is less than the total of the white dice. So there's a little bit of math involved here. The colored dice over here can be seen, and then there's a less than sign, and then the white dice are on the right, meaning that these have to be higher than these. So that's pretty interesting. You've also got some other ones. This one I showed you already. 3 pairs. Coloreds are 1s, white are 6s. So there's a lot of variance on the same theme, but there's also some unique ones in this deck. Now, just to quickly illustrate, Vinny and I are going to go ahead and play through a practice round or two. I'm going to be red, Vinny's going to be blue. And I'll go ahead and draw the first card. According to this, the total of colored dice is more than the total of white dice. So in my case, I'll have to make sure that the total on the red dice are more than the total of the white dice. And Vinny will have to do the same thing with his blue and white dice. So both of us are going to go ahead and roll. So basically, I'm going to try and pick numbers that are low for white and high for red. Alright, so Vinny went ahead and grabbed Steven. He was done, I wasn't. And I probably could have won with that. But let's just see real quick if he managed to match this card. So he's got 6, 6, and 6. How much is that, Vinny?
18.
18. How much is that?
6.
So 18 is greater than 6. So yes, he would score this card and earn himself a point. And that would be the end of that round. Alright, what does it say?
Color add up to 15 and white add up to...
Alright, so colored add up to 15, white add up to 7. 5, 1, 3, alright. What's that? And 7. I need a 3. Come on. Wow, what are the odds? Alright, there we go. Alright, so I grabbed Steven. Let's see if I managed to complete this. Now, according to this, I needed to get my colored dice to equal 15. I've got 5 and 6 is what?
11.
11 plus 4?
15.
Good. So I've matched that. And how about this here? 1, 3, and 3?
7.
7. And that matches that. So I would get to keep this card and I'd earn myself a point. Alright, we'll do one more. Draw the card. All dice add up to 20. Doesn't look like it matters what color, just so as long as they add up to 20. 11, 14. Oh, check that out. How do you like them apples? Alright, let's see if I manage to do it. 5 and 4 is what?
9.
Plus 2.
11, 14, 19, 20.
Very good.
Darn it.
I'm going to Vegas. And there you have it. It's just a very quick look at the game Even Stevens Odd. You can check out my review at www.dadsgamingaddiction.com, or you can simply click on the link in the below description. That'll take you there as well. This is Vincent Vinny Jr. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.